Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. Today's review will be A Quiet Place 2. Let's get into it. So, this movie, Quiet Place 1, became a hit. And when A Quiet Place 1 came out, I did not go see it in the theater. It didn't interest me. But after the fact, I kept hearing a lot of praises about it. So finally I took the time out and sat and watched it. And some things I remember, some things I don't. And it was a decent movie. I just couldn't get past that. The whole movie, people had to be quiet and stuff like that. And so in this movie, you had the cast from part one in this movie. So you had Krasinski plays as Lee Abbott. Of course, he died in part one though. And you had Emily Blunt plays as Evelyn Abbott. She's the wife. And you have Cecilian Murphy. He plays as Emmett. Then you have Macillian Simmons. She plays as Reagan Abbott. And Noah Jupe plays as Marcus Abbott. And you have Digimon Husu plays as the man on the island. And he, you see him in the trailer, but he really didn't have a big role. So this movie pretty much picks up at the end of part one. The mom had the baby. This movie probably picks up at least maybe 6 months to, it said 247 days since the first time. So it's about 6-7 months since it originally first started. But the movie starts off, I don't know if it's I can't remember from part one if they're showing a flashback or they're showing a vision that they thought happened. But it starts off with the dad is alive. He's arriving to his son's game, and the mom and the daughter is already there. He arrives there, and at the son's game, the oldest son, and that's when everything took off. And while they were watching the game, and a spaceship pretty much appeared out of the sky, and it just, the monsters start coming down or whatever. So these monsters are aliens, rather. I said monsters. Aliens are pretty much incredibly strong, move fast, got claws. They can't see though. They go off of here. So if you talk, they can hear you. You make noise, they can hear you, and then they come. And that's when they're, of course, by your motion, that's when they attack you. Now, that took place, and then it got to present time, and it shows the mom and the two kids and the baby. They're on foot traveling to try to get to refuge. Now, on their travel, you notice that none of them have no shoes on. So I'm thinking, well, did they just run to where they didn't have no shoes? They're barefoot just walking. So you would think by now these aliens is traveling off of here. So any animals, I guess they killing animals too. They don't show that, but of course you got the family traveling, and of course there's not really no animals in sight. So the family travels to an old factory, looks like. And when they travel through the factory, they make a noise, and one of the alien monsters come and trying to attack them. So they're running through a land. Somebody's watching them from a telescope, and the son runs into a bear trap set for the aliens, of course, but he runs into it. So of course he screams out real loud, and the mom had to pretty much, calm him down. And then the person who was looking through the telescope pretty much came out to help him. And they end up finding out once he was in a bunker in a warehouse plant or whatever it was. He got it set up, and where it's set up is inside of like a container, like an oil container or something like that. He set up like a 45-second timer that after that your air will run out inside of there. So while he's set up with that, he makes sure he got a latch where you can't lock yourself in. So when you see the camera point that out, somewhere along in the storyline that's going to happen or whatever. So once they get in there, the mom is pretty much saying, show us your face. And they find out that this was one of the dad's friends. And the dad was sending signals out while they was on a run, and he never responded. Now, he said his wife took ill, and in the pain, she took ill and stuff like that. So he told them they had to leave. Now, the daughter is deaf. So the dad, of course, from part one, created a device to help her hearing. And that device agitates the alien monsters when the sound hears it. So he hooked it to like a speaker type device, radio device, where if you hook her hearing aid to it and put it in front of the monsters, it irritates them to back up. And that gives you a chance to shoot them when they open up their mouths. So the theory is to get to some type of radio frequency area, put that hearing aid thing to it, and that can help slow down the monsters, give people a fighting chance. So the daughter's theory is we need to get to, she keeps hearing a song on this radio. And when she hears the song, it triggers her to say, why this song? The guy, Emmett, he pretty much says, yeah, we keep hearing that song. That song means nothing. And what she was saying is, no, that song is not just a song. It's giving you a clue of direction to get to where this song is coming from. So they figured out, the daughter figures that out, that she tracked it on, the dad taught her longitude and latitude, how to look on maps and stuff like that. So she tracked it and pretty much said it's tracking to an island off of New York. So she wants to get to there. So of course she doesn't bring it up to her mom, she brings it up to the brother. The brother like, no, you can't leave. And she said, I got to try to help us. And so when the brother woke up, she left a note saying basically keep listening. So she dipped out. Now of course she ain't got no shoes. So when the mom found out what happened, she says to Emmett, I need you to go out and find my daughter. He like pretty much shoot the breeze. But she was like, if my husband was alive, he would tell you that pretty much you need to, his daughter is worth going to save. So he goes out, of course. The daughter makes her way to a cabin of trains where it shows them all ran through, and she sees a first aid kit, gets the first aid kit, but it makes noise, which triggers the alien monster to come and try to attack her. She puts out a hearing aid thing, but she can't get her shot off, but it's still coming forward. So she can't get her shot off, and she's missing. So she finally just all up. By that time, Emmett got to her and shot and killed. So he brings her like, I'm taking you back to your mom. And she pretty much tell him like, we can't, we got to get to, some help. So she convinced him, that to go get help. And then he told her he found a boat. And when they went to where the boat was, nobody was there at first. And when they got there, it was a little girl on a dock. And when he went up to the little girl tricked him and threw a rope around his neck and locked it. Meanwhile, some scavengers came out So in these times, you will see people, the best people. That's what he mentioned. Emmett mentioned, like, in these times, people are different, and you will see the best people turn to something else, pretty much. And you got this group of scavengers where they pretty much look like they great, take everything they got. So the speaker thing that the little girl had, they did away with that, and they was going to take the little girl and leave him to get killed. So they put a bunch of like bells around the guy, so if he made noise, the alien monster come and snatch him out. So what he did was he ran up and grabbed the main leader, and of course that made enough noise for the alien monsters to come out, and he stabbed the alien monster, which led the alien monster to kill the main guy. And meanwhile, it made destruction and wiped out all the scavengers. Now the girl, he signaled to the girl, told her to go dive in the water. She went and dived in the water, and she made her way to a boat, got the boat from him. Meanwhile, back at the warehouse place where the mom, the baby, and the brother is, the mom sees the oxygen tank. So they keep the baby in like a cupboard so it won't cry and stuff like that, but they keep an oxygen tank over the baby, but the oxygen tank is running out. So the mom sees that, she's pretty much like, I gotta go get some oxygen. So what she does is dip back in town. Now, of course, the son is like, nah, don't leave me. She's like, I have to, because you gonna get ill if you don't get no medicine or medical attention, and then I won't know what to do. So you gotta be strong. I taught you how to, take care of the baby and stuff like that. And so it shows the mom go to where the brother in part 1 got snatched and killed, and she puts her wedding ring at that location or whatever. That's her way, I guess, moving on, or whatever the reason she did that. So she made it in town. She got some medicine, and she got 2 things of oxygen. Meanwhile, she told the son to stay put. He picks the baby up, and he wants to be curious. So once again, it shows how teenagers or little kids can be. They don't listen, and they're going to do what they want to do, and he doesn't listen. So he's going out exploring what's in this warehouse or whatever. He makes it up where the living quarters of Emmett was living. He discovers Emmett's wife's body decomposing. Well, we assume that's his wife's body decomposing in the area or whatever. So he freaks out, makes noise. Of course, that brings the alien monster in. So the alien monster is pretty much tearing stuff up and trying to get to him, and he makes his way back down underneath, and he makes it to grab the baby with the oxygen tank. The oxygen tank was already little and with a little bit left, and he makes his way. Of course, he closed the container and don't put the cushion there to stop the latch, so the latch locks. He comes to like, oh snap, I locked the latch, and now he panicking. Now it's only a little bit of oxygen. Now he gives the oxygen back and forth to him, the baby. The mom is on her way back. She see the monsters tearing stuff up, so she makes her way there. She takes one of the oxygen tanks and pretty much blows it up, sets it on fire to distract the alien monster, and then makes her way, and she sees that the container is locked, and she opens it up, allows her son to get oxygen. Now she brings the other oxygen tank in, and so that all 3 of them could share the oxygen tank. So by this time, Emmett and the daughter Reagan makes it to the island. When they get to the island, they hear people laughing, talking, and everything like that. So they like, what is this? So what you notice when they went with the scavengers, you seen one of the aliens fall in the water, and you automatically see that's a weakness. They can't swim or whatever. And one of the aliens was pretty much couldn't swim and was trying to grab ground and get back on the boat, but couldn't. And the other alien came onto the boat, and the boat started to rock or whatever. Now, it pointed that out, and then I'll get back to that. So when they made it to the island, that's when the man on the island, played by Digimon, pretty much, him and Emmett have a conversation. They had to discuss it, pretty much like what happened, how they got there. They found out that the coastal guards found out that they couldn't swim. They had 12 boats for people to move off the island, but what happened was people started to panic and made a lot of noise, and the aliens came and just ripped through the people, and only out of 12 boats, only two boats got loose. So, you know, they pretty much, he didn't say I got to get back to get, you know, the mom and all that. He just pretty much was like, he pretty much was saying he basically looking down on, you know, the situation. So he brought it up to him, letting them know what the girl's device is, and they need that song that he's been playing to lure people to the island. He's saying you need to put this device on there so that it affects the monster, alien monster. So he talked to the Reagan and pretty much told her that he's gonna help, and he pretty much told her, like, you know, you're right, I'm not like your dad, you are. And so he pretty much, in his own guilt and pain, he's looking off in the ocean, and when he looks in the ocean, he hears a noise. So he goes and look where he hears the noise, and it's the boat that the second alien that came, jumped on. So that boat drifted from that dock, drifted overnight across the ocean and drifted over to the other island. Yeah. Oh man, you know, that's Hollywood for you. They gotta give a storyline. So that boat drifted and it made it there overnight. And when it drifted, the alien now he sees that, he know what was on that boat. So he instantly trying to run back to the town, telling people to go hide. But by that time, the alien started ripping through the people. And so the guy on the island, they jump in a car and start making horn noises to get the alien to follow them. And so they make it to the radio station. And so he gets in there, but he's panicking like, yo, my family. He's like, where's the monster? I think we went too fast. It didn't follow us. And he turns his back, so you know he ready to get going. Of course, he turns his back. The alien monster snatches him through the door, and the alien monster's now trying to rip through the radio station. So they eventually make it up to where she could place that her hearing aid device on the radio. And when it does that, the alien was in the process of, it was two different aliens happening at the same time. So one alien was trying to get them in a radio station, another alien was trying to get the mom and the brother where they was at the warehouse. And so when she put her device on the radio station, the alien in the radio station, of course, was distracted, and the volume was creating it to back down. So she ended up taking some type of pole or something and stabbing it in the head. Meanwhile, the brother, he had his radio frequency device, and he put it up to the alien that was trying to get him and the mom. And he ended up grabbing the gun that the mom left and took the gun and blew the alien head off. And that was it. That was pretty much the end of the movie. That's how it ended. No post-credit scene. Out of the 4-star rating system, I'm going to give this movie a 2.5 out of 4 stars. I can't see no more than that. It was a decent movie, especially off of the first one. If it wasn't for the COVID, because of course this movie was supposed to come out in 2020, and it wasn't for the COVID that happened, it would have been a hit at the movie theaters. Now it's coming out in the movie theaters, but it's, you know, it's kind of like, you know, ain't too many people still going yet. So, you know, it's probably not going to do as well as it could have done if it came directly in the movie theaters without a COVID. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment if you were into A Quiet Place series. Till next time.